Camarines Sur is an agricultural province located in the center of the Bicol Peninsula. This is the famous Bicol River. This river often overflows during rainy days, threatening the people of low-lying towns like Milaor and San Fernando. It causes floods that destroy rice fields. Those rice fields are some venues where weeds like seagrass, or locally known in Bicol as Ragiwdiw, grows as pest. As the rice plants are being ravaged by the flood, Ragiwdiw can be observed to survive the calamity. Ragiwdiw or Rhincosphora corymbosa is a kind of sedge which grows in wet marshlands and rice paddies, planted or unplanted. Rice farmers often regard it as pest.
As tractors run along the field, grasses are wiped out but not seagrass. Instead, they grow again between where rice is planted. Seagrass is treated as a pest before. Today, they are very much beneficial, giving the community something to do and provide them additional income.
Yes, it is because weeds also belong to the same family. As you can see, they adapt to their environment. For example, in Egypt, they thrive in the Nile River, but they may exhibit different morphological characteristics. They adapt in their environment. They mimic themselves. That's why they are persistent. They mimic the associated environment of the associated crop. So when you see rice, you can also see weeds that are like rice also. So it is really difficult to define which is which, especially when they are still young.
The Ragiwdiw commonly grow in two places: soil that is soaked in the water or marshy places, and soil that is drier, usually in rice fields.
This one is not good. If we braid this, we won't come up with a good product. The material itself is hard, and when made into slippers, it will not be comfortable to use.
Ragiwdiw is said to have some similarities with papyrus, a kind of weed in the Nile River. People of Zone 3 Barangay Flor de Lis harvest, weave, and manufacture Ragiwdiw slippers. The Gases family is one family harvesting Ragiwdiw and weaving it as well. Mr. Virgilio Gases Sr. is the head of the household and is also the barangay captain of Flor de Lis. He is a rice farmer and is also harvesting Ragiwdiw. Harvesting Ragiwdiw is often the residents' hobby, whenever they do not still have rice to harvest. The female members of the Gases family often weave dried Ragiwdiw when they have no things to do. Mang Alfonso Trinidad is the former barangay captain of Barangay Flor de Lis. He owns a small handicraft business. He is making Ragiwdiw slippers.
On our part, we buy the materials that the barangay work with. This can be bought from them per meter.
Is your earning enough to sustain your needs?
If we rely so much on Ragiwdiw business, it will not sustain our needs.
Do you have other source of income?
I am a farmer, and this business is my part-time job.
The Noora family of Barangay del Pilar, San Fernando, Camarines Sur also harvest Ragiwdiw and make slippers out of it. This is Sitio Baraka. This is a part of the Bicol River Basin. This is said to be the best source of Ragiwdiw in the town of San Fernando. It has enough water level to nourish the Ragiwdiw plant, making it rigid. Here in San Fernando, Ragiwdiw bundles being sun-dried can sometimes be seen along the streets. After drying the bundle of Ragiwdiw, splitting of Ragiwdiw strands is done.
In breeding, it is either you divide the raw material into three, or if you have a smaller material, dividing it into two may do.
Pero pag ang raw materials, ano lang, ito medyo sabit lang siya, ang ganito lang siya. Diba? Ayan, kuya pa ako.
What we need is three. Place each of it on top of each other and do it like this to make 15 meters of this material.
Kasi gusto mag-experience. Ang kaya pa na arog kiniyo para makagib mo sa rong chinelas 15 meters. Ayan, kaya
We, the slipper manufacturer, prefer to buy this material from those families who mainly produce this material. They are able to make an average of 100 meters a day and the minimum is 30 meters.
pero kung ma-extra lang, ang pinaka-minimum lang na may start na nito. Kaya po, parang tayo siya. Kaya ang ano, ang
Make sure that you apply even force throughout this process.
and pag-abot na sa purong, susumpay.
When you reach the end, add another piece to continue with the procedure.
Pag nailing din na medyo pasadin, kaya po,
Provide an allowance to the excess piece for proper cutting of the material.
para parehas mangyari yung ano yung pakanak nila. Yan lang
That's
ang
it for this process.
The weave Ragiwdiw will now be dyed. In Barangay Flor de Lis, Milaor, handicraft maker Alfonso Trinidad invents colors to satisfy the customer's order.
In order to make a paint for the product, we just boil water, put tint, and add vinegar. But some of the tint's color cannot be bought from Naga, so we just mix some colors in order to create another one. For example, mix pink, yellow, and violet to create brown. They are just invented based from experience.
para maka-form ng tapos na upper inner toe yung apakan.
We're done with the pattern. Now we move on the inner sole. All you need in sewing this part is to follow the pattern read earlier to obtain the preferred size. Continue this until you arrive at the end. We now call this the inner sole. In the upper sole, we need a strap. Our materials are not purely local. We are using synthetic hose to make the strap durable. You'll see how it is done. We need 21 centimeters long of this material to actually make one slipper. These four foundations of the upper sole will be inserted into the hose. Braid these 4 foundations like what we did at the very first of the whole process. Our workers paid 2 pesos per pair in weaving the upper strap, while for making the inner sole, our workers charged 250 pesos per pair.
Next step is the cutting of the outer sole.
We use the flat sole, not the heeled sole. The labor cost for cutting the sole is 2 pesos and 50 centavos. In assembling the inner sole and outer sole, the labor cost is 1 peso. Wait for 5 minutes for the adhesive cement to dry. Usually, we apply adhesive cement to the inner sole, then the outer sole. The Ragiwdiw sleepers will be pounded to ensure the coherence between the outer sole and the inner sole. For pounding the sleepers, the labor cost is 1 peso.
The Department of Agriculture already has future plans for the Ragiwdiw industry in San Fernando, Camarines Sur.
partnership with LGU San Fernando, we come up with a cluster area where Ragiwdiw will be planted. Through a cooperative, other members will be planting. If you plant, the seagrass will be bought from you. We cluster the activity, gathering, drying, categorizing the activity in the process to see the effect of the project in the employment. Gathering, drying, braiding, making slippers. At the same time, we were able to come up with a curing building with cooperation with the Philippine Army.
We will culture this kind of grass, and we are happy that to have our landowners here in Santa Cruz are sharing the portion of their farmland to be utilized as for the plantation of this seagrass.
Ragiwdiw industry is indeed a craft passed on from generations to generations. It is a culture that can still grow, flourish, and be advantageous to the present youth. Ragiwdiw may be considered as a pest, but it can change the lives of ordinary people just like the Noora family.